On a chill November morning, as the day had just begun, Carol Ann, I finally realized you're the only one and I'm home again. It's been too long to remember just exactly what is love, and I've been chasing foggy images that wash away like mud in the pouring rain.
Hi, this is Pat Montgomery, and you're listening to Parents Rule Video Blog. My website is parentsrulecat.com. And the music you just heard was written and performed by my guest today, John McCulloch. John is a songwriter and a singer and a politician and a musician and the owner of Grand Canyon International Hostel
in Flagstaff,
Arizona. And the website for that is grandcanyonhostel.com. Right?
Correct.
Okay. So, but we're not going to talk to you about music today,
okay,
even though you're wonderful, great songwriter. What we're going to talk about is the hostel. And it seems to me that Americans don't utilize hostels and traveling in that way as much as the Europeans do. Do you find that to be true?
Absolutely. I think that the American audience hasn't quite discovered what a hostel is. And a hostel specifically is where you rent the bed, not the room. So that typically in our hostel, in most hostels, you have dormitory style houses. So it's a bunk bed, typically. And you rent the bed. For us, it's $18 a night. That includes tax and free breakfast. Oatmeal, orange juice, oranges and apples, coffee and bread, muffins. But the American audience isn't quite up to speed with what that product is. And I think young folks, they have a lot of hostels in Europe. We've had them around for 30 years now. So.
Oh, okay. Well, you just don't hear that much about it with Americans, and I know it's really common for Australians or Europeans to travel that way. If you had a child that wanted to go off traveling in Europe and stay in hostels, what's the best way to pick a good hostel?
Well, our major marketing is in our website, and I think that people would think of it as a youth hostel, but I mean, hostels are really available to everyone. They tend to be younger, college-age, international folks.
Because they're not tied down with jobs and families.
They backpack, they're traveling around, but we do have some families come through, and then there are elder hostels. Other folks.
Awesome.
So
I need to stay in those with my walker.
But with that, you look where you're going, you look up hostels, you look up Grand Canyon Hostels, and you go right there. They're the only hostels in Flagstaff. With that, you know where it is, and you can usually find reviews at hostelworld.com, a couple of other national and international hostel websites.
Okay, hostelworld.com.
And then they have guides. We're advertised in a variety of, they're not advertised, but talks about a number of hostels out. In particular, one that's put out by Harvard University. Every summer, their students are sent out all over America, all over the world, and they don't tell you who they are. They just come to your hospital, and sometime over the summer, one of these guests is going to be a hostel writer for Let's Go USA. And so you have to treat every guest like their potential guide writer who's going to review your hospital. And they never reveal who they are. So we've had nothing but thumbs up, which is a big thing. Let's Go USA is the top tier hospital.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. So what words of caution would you give kids that were traveling around like this?
It is communal, so your stuff is out there exposed. A lot of hospitals, you want to take your passports and some of your money, your traveler's checks and things like that, and ask the front desk if they have a safe to keep them in. Some hospitals will have their own private lockers. In our hospitals, we've had 14 years of running. Very, very few incidents of crime or robbery or type of thing. International travelers, I think they just grew up in a more communal environment. That, a two-bedroom apartment, but you had 3 kids, so everybody shared one bathroom, and they knew how to cooperate in that morning routine, getting ready to go to school. Whereas the Americans think of it a little more as a commune than communal living. And there's a real big difference because, in a commune, perception is what's yours is mine. And so if somebody puts a beer in the refrigerator, the American's more likely to go in and grab the beer out of the refrigerator, whereas the Europeans don't do that. They recognize that's not mine, I'll leave it alone. So that's what Americans do.
So one thing, they've grown up probably with their own room, their own TV, and their own everything, and they don't understand the concept. But it's a respect of space kind of concept.
You're so small, and you've got to learn how to get along with strangers in the room.
Well, that's a life lesson that kids need to learn too. So do you guys call them on it when they get caught, or when they are hostile, or say something?
Well, they'll let us know when that person's moved along.
Okay. Okay. Well, when kids are thinking about traveling by themselves, college students and adult parents worry.
Right.
So what word of advice would you give to parents to make them feel better, or
trust your kids. They're having a good time, and
that's what they're worried about.
They usually do make the right decision. Interestingly enough, you never saw the Japanese travel in anything but groups. You could always see the bus come in, from the Grand Canyon. And recently, we've seen individual female Japanese travelers, which was almost unheard of 10 years ago. But if a young Japanese woman feels safe enough to travel, take that into consideration. Hostels, because there's somebody around all the time, usually makes it a safer place. There's always a pair of eyes, looking around. And our staff lives on property, so they live and work there. They're there 24/7, so there's always somebody around.
Okay.
Which is why I like hostels. Unfortunately, the movie Hostels came out.
Yeah.
A thriller, murder, chop them up or something. We're going, our one time to expose the hostel, experience to the public, and it's a horror film. So.
Well, are most hostels, I'm sure yours is Wi-Fi, wired, and
everything,
all that?
Yes.
So parents can stay in touch with something.
As long as they know their kids'
like
itinerary.
Skype or something.
Toll-free numbers, give a call and make sure they're there. That's what you're worried about.
I love Skype, though. It's a great way to stay in touch.
It is. And you see people just sitting around in the lobby, in the lounge, talking to everybody. It's kind of fun when you see 3 different conversations going on in 3 different languages. So from that room, it's going all out over the world.
Yeah. And I've also discovered a site called Voovoo. That's a nice site, too. That's another one you can use for communication. That's OOVOO.com. But anyway, so for kids that are traveling, what other little word of advice? Do you have anything else to want to tell them? Pack light? Anything?
Do your laundry.
The rest of us would appreciate it.
There's only 2 pairs of underwear in your backpack. Rinse them out every now and again.
All right. You're listening to Parents Rule. Thanks for joining me again today.
I need another friend now. I've got all the friends I need. I don't need another friend now. Girl, you know just what I mean. So I'm asking from my heart, dear, will you fly away with me? 'Cause I don't need another friend now. I've got all the friends I need.